Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 16 of 100 machine learning projects. So today we will be doing and will be making educational tool. This is just for education. So we will be making a consultation tool for the disease prediction based on its symptoms. So this is just for education purposes. This is anytime you have a problem, please take an advice from a doctor. So this is just for education purposes, that how you can combine multiple data sets and make a prediction model on that. So this is just an educational tool. I repeat, this is the disclaimer that I'm coming from coming with. So make sure that you guys are using just for this education and to understand how a rule based system is made and how different data sets are being used. So today we will be using a data set from Kaggle. Let me share my screen, and yeah, and we will be talking about this. So we are taking the disease prediction, that is, the data set from the not the cardiovascular, I think the disease prediction based on the symptoms. So there it contains of like okay, yeah, data set SCSV. It contains of like these four data sets, where you can see that each file, especially the dataset.csv file, this is the core training dataset with like 4920 rows, like a full version. And it will have like symptoms, disease instances with up to like 17 symptoms are with text strings, and repeated across rows for variations, used for ML training to map symptoms to different diseases. You can see that diseases are here, these are the symptoms, if it is available or not, like watering from eye, allergy, continuous seizing, chills, watering from eyes, that is not NN. Now we will go towards the system description. This is the disease. These are the description, like what a drug reaction and adverse drug reaction is an engineering. So this is where it is talking about what kind of disease, what is that disease actually. And this is the like symptom precautions that you can take, like disease, that if it's a drug reaction, then you can do to stop irritation, consult nearest hospital, stop taking drugs, follow up. If it's some malaria, consult near a hospital. Like what are the precautions that you can take. And this is the CSV file with the symptoms and its word. If it is itching, then it is 1. If it is continuous seizing, it's 4. If it is cold hands and feet, it is 5. Definitely you might have a blood pressure issues. Swelling of stomach, definitely a 7. You understand the severity, that how it is being labeled. And yeah, a continuous okay, let me see if I have a higher like family history. If you have a different history, then then check that. If you have okay, veins on calf, then it's a 6, I guess. Okay, so I'm not going to go through everything, but I will today I will be sharing like two kind of codes to make you understand like how these like all the directories can be used, and one system one CSV file can also be used for the prediction purposes. So first we will go through one, which is this one. So before that, this is the disclaimer that I wanted to go with. This is an educational tool only, not for real medical use. Please consult a doctor. And we are importing these libraries, that are pandas, sklearn, model selection, and sample models, and which are random forest classifier that we will be using today. And we are using the label encoder that we all have discussed in our previous videos, that what they look like, what they actually do. They are for to convert the in fact the words into a numeric format, and categorize them into categories. This for the label encoder. For example, if it's fungal infection, you can give it a number as 1, and you can replace all the fungal infections with 1. So, sklearn accuracy scores, we definitely want the evaluation matrices to understand like how much the prediction is being done. Is our model able to train properly or not? Is it able to test properly or not? So we need those things. So first we will be doing with the dataset.csv. You know that this one. which contains the disease. And I think the 17, we have 17 symptoms. Yeah, we have 17 symptoms for it. So just for your reference, I also wanted to go through it. So this is the line, like I think this is the pretty important line, and every machine learning engineer should be, comfortable with. This helps me to understand what a data set looks like, what kind of categories it looks like, what are the five, so you don't have to print the whole data set if you cannot go through the whole data set. Just print the head of it. So it will just print the five starting five, values of those, and you can use say, like, and you can create, collections like, then we will be making connections like disease is equals to common cold. What is the, symptoms? Runny nose, sore throat, cough, sneezing, fatigue, and you can make like for different disease, like for fungal infection it will be itching, skin rash, uh, nodal skin eruptions, and dyschromic patches, and that will be the symptoms for the fungal infections. You can also skin rash, model skin, yeah, this is like so similar. So these are the categories that you have, and you can create a, a data frame for that. And for that we will be using symptom columns and get all the unique symptoms excluding NN. We are not using NN because it will not actually help the model to train very nicely, and it will lead the model into, getting a lot of blank spaces, so it will not train very properly. If you are not giving any data to the model to train, then it will not train very well. It will, because the, you can see the minority, the symptoms are like in very less. There are like, if 17 symptoms are there, I think four symptoms are only given. So if out of 17 you are giving only four information, and you are not giving the rest of like 13 symptoms, then there is a chance that it will discard, and it will not be able to, train it very nicely, and will say that there is no problem or no disease to be detected for that. So this is how it is going to be. So that's why we are using all the, unique symptoms for all the data, and we are connecting that. And for columns now, this is how it is going to look like. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is how it's going to look like this. And we will create the data frame, create the binary feature matrix. So on the basis of that we will be creating the binary feature matrix with, because we know, because everything right now is in words. So we need to make it into, we need to perform informations like what kind of label encoder is that, is it good or not, if symptoms are there or not. So and then we have to define the diseases. We are defining the target variable here, that is the Y. We are importing the label encoder to encode our diseases, sorry, encode our target variable. So you can see the Y encoder is like for this transform diseases names with diseases classes for decoding the predictions. And then we are splitting the data set into 80%, 20% with a random set of 42, so that every batches have 42 sample of data. And then we are using the random forest classifier when n estimators is goes to 100, and random state 48, 42, that everything goes like for in the batch of 42 only. Now we are trying to fit the data, trying to understand like if to basically train the data, we can say that this is line is done. And for then we are using the quick accuracy check, that if prediction is able to, y prediction is able to similar to the x test, and then we are printing the model accuracy, that accuracy score is good. Now we are also making some symptom matching, like itchy skin is equals to itching. Because if I say that, how I, because I'm training on a very, constraint kind of information, that you can see that, okay, a runny nose, sore throat, cough, sneezing, fatigue. So these are the symptoms. In if you are going to use an application, and if you want someone to enter that, maybe you said itchy skin, but it at the end user might write itching, right? So you have to understand, okay, nodal skin, like nodal skin eruption, I don't think so, like nodal skin eruptions, like if it is paying without the spaces, then it should come like how the model has been trained on, what kind of data it is trained on. So this is the pre-processing of the output, that if someone is providing a symptom, a user is providing a symptom, it should, how you are processing the input, the processing, the user's input into a format that model can understand, and then you can relate and you can train, you can test the model on that. Now you are saying that enter your symptoms separated by comma. You can say that skin itching, we can write itching, skin rash, fatigue, and everything. And then the vector is generated on the basis of that. Then match symptoms are generated. And for symptoms, and this is how the index, this is the rule based, where I am telling that these are the rules. So you don't have to predict, go out of it. You just have to see that if you are able to predict it properly or not. And this is how the predicted disease work. So this is one of the thing that I come up with. So maybe if I can, okay, I'll run this for you guys. It might take some time. Okay, that is good. If I get any information, okay, model accuracy on test set is a good, like it's 100%. Found 131 unique symptoms, that is abdominal pain, abnormal menstruation, acidity. So this is how not a normal user is going to write acute underscore liver underscore failure. So what we can do, okay, it is asking for, okay, I'll say fatigue. I'm feeling fatigue. Okay. 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 Oh, sorry. I forgot to put the lowercase. I have, so this is what I'm talking about. If someone is saying that, okay, okay, what is going on with this? Maybe I'll try itching. I hope it says itching. Something should be coming. I'm writing it correctly, right? Spelling is correct. Okay, yeah, it can. It says the predicted disease is fungal infection, confidence score of 32%. Okay, if I'm having itching, so based on the medical match symptoms, it says itching, and it's confident. Maybe I have not, written fatigue or mapped fatigue properly. And for the top alternatives are, okay, I'm giving the top alternatives because that are the how the scores are being transferred, like fungal infection 32%, drug reaction it is giving me 15%, and chronic loss cholestasis, that is 9%. So this is how you can do it. Like if you have the, this is how even doctors do that, but I will still say that this is just the model. This is a very limited data set. This is just 4,000. This does not count in any of the medical emergency. If you have, please do consult a doctor. But you can use this to understand that how a rule based system can be helped in this kind of scenario. You can use it in different scenarios as well, where there's different kind of prediction is done. For example, a price range in the stock prediction also you can use that. Okay, if you have different scenario, what kind of post is that, what are the different examples of rule based applications, um, maybe what kind of prediction if we want there, if there are different things. So right now I cannot come up with something, but I will definitely, I'll put a comment on that if I come up with a new idea for that. So for this, now we will implement and merge all the data sets that we have, because in this before you can see, okay, let me save this. Yeah, we can see that I gave a symptom, I gave the symptom that was itching, and it gave me that, okay, this is the accuracy, this is the predicted fungal infection. Now on the basis of precaution, severity, and description, that what fungal infection is actually is, I think it is there. And human fungal infections occur when an invading fungus. So this is how it's going to be. So what I will do now, I will give a throughout information on the basis of the symptoms that I'm giving. That is, I will give that itching. It will tell me that this is the severity, and it will tell me what kind of disease I have. It will tell me about the disease also. It will tell me all the that precautions that I can take on the basis of those symptoms. So I will run this code. So it okay. Yeah, let me see. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll say itching. So you can see that I am getting, okay, warning educational tool that I have, that is the similar code, just I'm doing using different data sets for that. The predicted disease is the fungal infection with a confidence score of 36%. Description: in humans, fungal infections that I talked to you about, that I it is copying the fungal infection it detected, it is taking that fungal infection description from the CSV file, and it is posting it there. Now it is also giving me the precautions: bath bed twice, Use Dettol or neem in bathing water. Keep infected area dry and use clean clothes. Based on matched symptoms, that is HA. So let's just go through that how I was taking all the data sets and how I was able to create this kind of descriptive disease diagnosis kind of a system. So we are loading all the data sets from this folder archive. You can see that this is this, and we are just cleaning the symptoms because there might be with a lot of commas. We have seen that in the data set CSV there are a lot of commas also. So we are just cleaning our data set, making sure that it is converted into the data frame. It is easier, and now on the basis of that we are making the columns together as we I have decided showed you in the earlier this. It should look like this: common cold. This kind of, these are the symptoms it has. Okay, where does my new something is wrong? Only one thing is working with me. So and then create binary features metrics with severity weights, because I needed to give the severity of that. If it is like 7 kind of a scenario that I have talked about, so then we are giving the severity weights because that is a important or critical information that we have. Using severity as value instead of 1, because in the start we were using 1, and right now we will be the severity number that we have. Then we are doing using the same label encoder for the diseases, and then we are just training the model on the same thing, then predicting the diseases. Then we are going the user vector to reshape, and then we are just calling the information from diseases to predicted diseases descriptions values. You can see that this kind of information is being traversed from different kind of the data sets, and it is being extracted from different data sets and then used here. So you can use this also for your information for basic, this is just a basic understanding of using a different data set and using all those data sets to create a one system, one rule based system. So this is the like easy kind of scenario that I wanted for you guys to look into. And I think this is a very important and very basic and very interesting topic. You can come up with different ideas. I have also created an iOS app before. During in my in my last semester I worked on an iOS app which was taking dynamic features from the Apple Watch, and it was taking the static features like age, gender and everything through the static. Like I was, as a user, I was inputting those values, and dynamic features that were taken by the Apple Watch were, I think, heart rate, ECG and activity level. And both of those features were converted, are taken and are extracted, and then they were pre-processed, and they were given to a prediction model, and that it was detecting that what is the likelihood of me getting a cardiovascular disease. So that is how you can use that. I am telling you that this is, you can make these kind of app, but always while working on your project, make sure that you have someone, some of the doctors to test your data, that okay, this is good, this is actually, this makes sense. So you can work on these kind of things. You can also add the images here. You can use the descriptive data set and the symptoms data set. You can also add the test data set. For example, if for the heart diseases or for the lung diseases, especially for cancers and everything, people take the x-rays of the lungs, and they can, through the x-rays of the lung, you can train your CNN models to identify if there is a tumor or not, what kind of tumor is that, and you can do that. So this is, in medical imaging, I think it is a very good field if you guys want to get into it. If you guys want to go to into AI health, or like health predictions using AI, and I think it can do wonders. I think it can help people to understand the severity of the issue situations. But just make sure that you provide a disclaimer in your project that this is just for for a reference, this is not the advice. Make sure people go and consult a doctor, because a lot of times what happens, people go to a different kind of search sites, and they just put their symptoms and they come up with their own things, and they come up with some solution and they try it, and it makes things worse. So make sure you go to a doctor for the consultation. Make sure you are aware of the scenario, what is happening with you and what is happening to the person you are trying to see. But this is just a learning tool. This is not something that you want to go with. But if you are actually planning to go with, make sure you have a whole plan where doctors are also involved at the end. Because while working on that project, the limitations of my project was that I needed to have someone at the end of at the end to make my predictions, to test my prediction that they are good or not. Like, is it correct or not? So you need to have a doctor team, and you need to do testing on that. You cannot just say that, okay, this is good enough because your model's accuracy is good. And make sure that you have a good amount of data you are testing your model. So this is just the starting of it. This is just the basic idea, basic project that you can understand, you can work with. And this will actually help you to build and understand and implement different data set. You will get comfortable with different data sets. That is what all machine learning projects that I'm posting is all about. To make some of the projects, I will make little bit easier for you guys to handle, to make sure. Even for this random forest classifier, you can use different kind of classifiers. Put decision tree and try to understand what kind of data you are getting, how much accuracy you're getting. Try to do XGBoost and understand, like, okay, what is this, and can I fine tune some of the parameters. Try to get random forest and what is the accuracy you're getting. So these kind of projects are good to work with, to make you comfortable with the coding part and to understand, like, okay, this model development is. So this is kind of a playground project for you guys. This is not something that I would suggest, because if you are going to do this, make sure that you have like a research scenario instead of just creating an app for that. I would not recommend to create just an app and market it, because it will be a very false scenario and you might also get into trouble. So don't do that. But for just for encountering purpose, just to play with algorithms, to understand the basic you know essence of the different models, a different understanding, different data set, how to play with that, where you can do that, what kind of features you use. Do you want to add more features? Do you want to add a CNN model and try this? So you can just have the fun with the data sets, with the modeling. So this is like a good project that you can start with, make yourself comfortable. So I think this was it for today. I know this was a very simple project, because I have been I'm trying to create like some of the basic projects, as well as with some of the difficult projects, something like with a complex situation, so that people, like, the all the people are able to understand you know what is going on, and how the things are done. So this is it for today, and hopefully you like the video, like you like the project. This is very simple and basic. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions regarding this project, please do comment. If you need any help, if you want to move with that, if you want to see my project, it is also on GitHub. I have also added the link over my profile. So you can go to the link and you can see it's under the distributed one, where I have also used AWS. But if you just wanted to see the prediction model for the AI, for the heart related issues, it is also there. So you guys can go through. There are multiple. I have also implemented decision tree, random forest, XGBoost, light GBM, and I think random forest. Yeah, random forest also. So you guys, there are like 6 models that I have implemented, and I have gone through all the accuracy, which one is getting, where we have, what are the learning curves, and where we are also seeing the overfitting of the data also. So you guys can go and go through that and understand. If you want me to create a video on that, so soon, because that project was recently accepted for publication in the Web IST 2025 conference, and I will be presenting the paper. This paper is like a group project with my college mates, under my professor. So if you I can also give you a walk through through that project, through the research paper that we wrote. And I have a I will be presenting that research paper next week in the conference, and maybe I can, yeah, definitely I will make a video over that also. So, and I will try to add the link here also, so that you know that how the things, what I was talking about. So this is good from my side. If you guys have any issues, any concerns also, you guys can reach out to me. If you want to, if you want me to work on a particular project, then also you can reach out to me. Maybe we can, if you have a good idea, we can collaborate and we can work on something. So that is it. That is it from my side today. Thank you so much for being here and making it interesting. And hopefully you like the video. And please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and you hit that notification button, so that you have, when I'm like every day I'm posting a new video on different machine learning project. So that is it. See you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.